Have you ever felt like the world is against you? Like you've done everything right, but life just keeps throwing punches? If so, the story of a man named Job might just change your perspective forever. This isn't just an ancient tale. It's a profound lesson on faith, suffering, and the kind of resilience that can see us through our darkest hours. In the land of Uz, there lived a man named Job. The Bible describes him as blameless and upright, a man who feared God and shunned evil. He was incredibly blessed, with a large, loving family, thousands of livestock, and a great reputation. By all accounts, he was living the dream. But high above in the heavenly courts, a conversation was taking place that would turn his world upside down. Satan came before God, and God pointed out Job's faithfulness. But Satan was cynical. He argued, "Does Job fear God for nothing? You've put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has. But stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." Essentially, Satan was claiming Job's faith was transactional, based only on his good fortune. So God allowed Satan to test Job, but with one condition: he could not harm Job himself. What followed was a series of unimaginable tragedies. In a single day, Job received one devastating report after another. Marauders stole his oxen and donkeys and killed his servants. Fire from the sky burned up his sheep and more servants. Raiders carried off his camels and killed even more servants. And then, the most crushing blow of all, a mighty wind collapsed the house where his 10 children were feasting, and they all perished. Can you even imagine that level of loss? In one day, his wealth, his livelihood, and his entire family were gone. Job's reaction is one of the most powerful moments in the entire Bible. He tore his robe, shaved his head, fell to the ground, and worshipped. He said, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." In all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. He passed the first test. But Satan wasn't finished. He went back to God and said, "Skin for skin. A man will give all he has for his own life. But stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will surely curse you to your face." So God allowed Satan to afflict Job's body, but he could not take his life. Immediately, painful sores covered Job from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. The suffering was immense, and he sat in ashes, scraping his sores with a piece of broken pottery. His own wife, seeing his misery, told him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." But Job replied, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Then Job's 3 friends came to comfort him. For 7 days and nights they sat with him in silence because they saw how great his suffering was. But when they finally spoke, they offered what seemed like logical advice. They insisted Job must have sinned to deserve such punishment. They lectured him, judged him, and tried to get him to confess to some hidden wrongdoing. For chapter after chapter, Job defends his innocence, crying out to God, questioning why this is happening. He never curses God, but he deeply, painfully questions his justice in silence. He longed for an audience with God to plead his case. After the friends fall silent, God finally speaks to Job, not from a witness stand, but out of a whirlwind. God doesn't give Job the neat, tidy answers he was looking for. Instead, he asked Job a series of powerful questions about the nature of creation. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? Do you give the horse its strength? Through these questions, God reveals his infinite wisdom, power, and sovereignty over a universe far more complex than Job could ever comprehend. Job's response is one of humility and awe. He realizes his limited human perspective. He says, "My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you. Therefore I despise myself and repent in dust and ashes." He didn't repent for sinning, but for his ignorance and for questioning the God who holds the universe in his hands. In the end, God rebuked Job's friends for not speaking the truth about him as Job had. And then the Lord restored Job's fortunes. He gave him twice as much as he had before. He blessed him with another 10 children, and he lived to see his family for 4 generations. He lived a long, full life and died old. The story of Job teaches us that we may not always understand the reasons for our suffering, Bad things do happen to good people. But through it all, it challenges us to trust in God's ultimate sovereignty and goodness, even when life makes no sense. Job's journey reminds us that our faith can be tested, but it is in those tests that it can be proven genuine and deeply strengthened. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of faith and life. See you in the next video.